It's the 90th minute +5. England is down by a goal to Slovakia. Last chance to reach the quarterfinals Euro 2024 before this happened. And then Bellingham delivers. A bicycle kick nobody saw coming. But wait. Did you see something? His socks. That's not damage. That's not a mistake from the kit man. What if I told you he cut them on purpose? And it's not just him. Across the pitch, elite defenders are doing the same thing. So what's actually going on here? Is this a hidden performance trick, or just a trend everyone's copying? Football sock. Modern match socks are made almost entirely from polyester, and that choice isn't random. Polyester holds its shape, resists moisture, and grips tight enough to keep a slim shin pad locked in place through 90 minutes of sprinting. Without that tightness, shin pads would slide right off the area they're supposed to protect. But that same tightness comes with a side effect. You see, elite defenders don't have average legs. Their calf muscles are far bigger than the average adults. And muscle doesn't stay a fixed size during a match. It swells as blood flow increases and the fibers work harder. Now imagine that swelling meets a sock that isn't going anywhere. The result? Pressure kept mounting. Exactly the kind linked to muscle fatigue and cramping. That is a potential performance problem, which is why this brings us to the scissors. So who started this? It was the 2018 Champions League quarterfinal, Manchester City against Liverpool. But cameras noticed something strange on Walker's legs. Visible holes appear on the back of his socks. At first, everyone assumed it was accidental, but it wasn't. Walker later explained it directly. The socks were actually too tight, so it was causing pressure on my calves. Simple, yet true. And here's the part that mattered most. He played well. Other players noticed, and the technique started spreading. But not everyone went down this route. Jack Grealish. His calves are just as massive as any defender's. But instead of cutting holes, he rolls his socks all the way down to his ankles, paired with tiny shin pads. This wasn't a performance decision, but an accident. You see, back when he was 14 at Aston Villa, his socks shrunk in the wash and simply wouldn't pull up over his calves in training anymore. But that season, he happened to play really well, and it turned into superstition on the spot. He kept doing it because it worked. The trade-off is real though. With his shins so exposed, referees have repeatedly pulled him over, having insufficient protection. From Walker's socks, the trend exploded. A lot of players started to do the same thing. Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, even Neymar. The practice spread from the Premier League into international tournaments. Even during the 2026 World Cup, you could spot it. The trend is undeniable, but the bigger question is it actually doing anything? There are no peer-reviewed study that has directly tested whether this could actually improves blood flow or prevents cramping. Doctors, of course, confirm that tight compression can restrict circulation. But a jagged hole, cut by hand in an unpredictable shape and spot, isn't the same as controlled medical-grade compression. This left people wondering whether this is a genuine performance science or just a pure aesthetic. And the twist nobody talks about. This whole trend is technically against the rules. You see, official regulations state players shouldn't be permitted to take the field with ripped or torn kit. Take Ezekiel Garay as an example. The former Valencia defender was once pulled aside and forced to change his socks, after a referee ruled his hole-covered pair didn't meet the required standard. But these days, most referees simply don't care anymore. This multi-million-dollar sport is running on a rule that exists on a paper, but is barely applied on the pitch. And it's not just football. In cricket, fast bowlers have long cut holes into their shoes near the toes to relieve the pressure from repeatedly slamming their foot into the ground while bowling. Different sport, but same instinct. Well, this is sport, where careers are decided by inches and milliseconds. If the holes in sock makes a player feel 1% more comfortable stepping onto the pitch, that's a trade elite players will make every single time.